Oh, right. Yes. Another worthless month. Welcome and welcome back to a platform music. Welcome back to another platform, another show, another video, whatever you would like to call it. This is the place. This is where we get to, talk about things that happen in dog culture that isn't spoken about. And even if it is spoken about, it isn't honest, it's not truthful, it's not rational, it's not logical. But here I am again. I am Gore the Dog Butcher. Reason why I picked that name, Gore the Dog Butcher, because I'm a big fan of, the Thor, Marvel's Thor, and I'm a big fan of Gore the God Butcher. In the comics, all this guy did was slay gods. He killed gods because they ignored him. They allowed his family to die and perish. So I chose the name Gore the Dog Butcher because in a way I have some similarities with Gore the God Butcher, where he slays gods, where I want to slay dogs because of the things dogs do. And I've said this in a video I've done years ago, that we all have to have, especially the victims, families, we all have to have that Gore the God Butcher mentality against these worthless mutts for taking our loved ones. And it's only fitting that, I can use such a name, because I do really hate these dogs. And even when I was young, I wanted these dogs to just, drop dead. I really did. And to use such a name and not, step a little, see how much out of bounds I can take things. It's impossible. It's like, it's not, I'm not living up to the name. I'm not going out there searching for dogs to murk. But sometimes, here and there, I'll show some pictures of dead dogs, or, little things of dogs getting hurt. Just a symbol. It just symbolizes of me, Gore the Dog Butcher, butchering dogs, just like Gore the God Butcher in the comics. But again, it's great to be back yet again to share what I found in just these few days and things that are on my mind pertaining to this worthless dog culture. As you can see, the title of this video is going to be called "You'll Be Barking for More," with the subheading of curry rough, with its kind of a reference to curry goats, because as you see, this is a pile of dog meat. And I'm trying to pay homage to Yulin, the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. And I've been searching. I've been searching for months about this Yulin Dog Meat Festival for this year, and I have not found any update regarding the Dog Meat Festival for this year. There is absolutely nothing. I search on Google. I do the recent 24 hours. Recent 24 hours. articles, and when I click the top one that says like 6 hours ago, it shows me to articles like this one that is over almost like 8 years. It's 8 years ago. I can't really find much better up to date and recent. So I don't know what's going on. I think Google is, personally, I think Google is trying to hide the dog meat festival because of obviously dog nutters. You know, anything with dog, it's like it's so taboo. Even though these things kill us left to right, you know, there's that they have this special fetish for dogs that you can't see them being harmed. You can't say anything negative about dogs. It's crazy with dog culture, especially if these are the things that have been killing us. It really makes no sense. Yeah, so briefly, you know, I'm going to be talking about things revolving around dog meat and Yulin. Because, you know, I gotta, you know, pay homage to that. You know, they're actually a few countries around the world are doing a service for, you know, for dog haters by, you know, helping to eliminate them. I've always said dogs are worthless, and they are, but in a way, dogs aren't actually 100% worthless, because they do have some worth in terms of them being able to feed people. So, like that, other than that, being able to feed people, I don't see any worth or any use in dogs whatsoever. But anyways, vegan review, dog meat trade in 2024, all you need to know. Despite the constant pressure from animal right activists and organizations, the dog meat trade industry is still very much alive and active in several countries in 2024. We take a look at where the trade is still active and countries that have outlawed the trade in recent years. And again, they are only outlawing these things because they're worthless mutts. That's why. That's why. They're not doing this for any other animal. Not for cows, not for chicken, not for frogs or snails or cockroaches or cats or rabbits. It's only dogs. Only dogs that they do this for. Although with ethical, social concerns of eating dog meat, many organizations have highlighted the health risks of consuming dog meat, which include transmission of diseases, foodborne illnesses and infections, and more. And I think there's a reason why, you know, to prepare dog meat, it can take, I think can take at least maybe 2-3 days to prepare it and cook it. And I think the reason why is to get rid of, you know, of the diseases. In some videos, you'll see, you know, people blowtorching, like literally blowtorching with fire on these live dogs, just blowtorching them. And I think that's a way for them to, again, kill these potential disease and bacteria. It is difficult to confirm the exact amount of dogs that are killed per year in the trade, as the nature of the trade is most countries is now illegal. Due to this, the practice is mainly secretive and underground, meaning exact data is hard to find. Despite the crackdown on the trade, it is estimated that millions of dogs are killed each year for human consumption. So are cows, so are chickens, so are pigs and goats, sheep, horses, rabbits, duck, fish, you name it. But no one else. I mean, I can't say no one is coming to their aid. Obviously, there are people out there protesting, like PETA, you know, against, you know, the slaughter of those animals. But, however, if you look at it as majority, like majority-wise, energy-wise, there is more of a reaction when dogs are killed for human consumption. Even when these dog nuts, they use dogs to hunt deer, raccoons, and some channels on YouTube, they will even show them hunting and killing these live animals. They will show them skinning these live animals. And in the comments, all the people in the dog nuts are all congratulating them for killing these innocent animals for sport, for nothing. They're congratulating them. But when the table is turned and it's regarding dogs, it is not the same. You may get a few comments like mine that will be like praising this type of behavior, but majority is all these dog nuts feeling sad and wanting to harm people for hurting dogs. But they're the same ones that hunt other animals, eat other animals. But it's just crazy how dogs. All of a sudden we can't eat dogs because because they're dogs, really. And they say dogs are family. If dogs are family, why are they killing us then? Why are they killing the owner's children? Why are they killing owners? So it's like they are allowed to kill us and eat us, but we can't eat them. Even though cows and pigs and chicken, they don't eat us. But dogs will eat us, but we can't eat dogs. It's just so crazy. How are the dogs killed? A key cause of concern in the trade is both how dogs are kept and killed, with some countries inducing legislation or restrictions to help stop the trade, the consumption of dog meat. The practice has moved underground in areas and has been controlled by criminal gangs. When they use the term criminal gangs, I don't think they mean like thugs and things like that. But they're trying to use this wording to make it to make it seem bad to make it seem worse than it really is. I don't really think there's these thugs gangs doing this. These are butchers, sloppy butchers, middle-aged women, middle-aged men, grandpas, grandmas. They're the ones doing this. But anyways, and these are family people too. But anyways, dogs are killed using various methods, including, but not limited to, beating, electrocuting, strangulation, poisoning, hanging, and slaughterhouse methods. So let's say they didn't do these methods. Eating dogs would still be a problem. Let's say they did. They killed these dogs in such a humane way. These dog nuts would still complain. It's not the fact that they're using these methods. It's the fact that, again, they're consuming so-called man's best friend. Countries that it's still legal to eat dog meat are China, which Yulin is part of, South Korea, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. And I believe some places in Africa as well allows dog meat. Let's see. Africa, dog meat. Be some places in Africa. We see Ghana. Let's see. Ghana probably still eats it. We have Nigeria that still eats dog meat. Indonesia, Switzerland. They're still eating dog meat. Maybe Ireland. All right. Laws about dog meat intended for human consumption. So you can't slaughter them for sale, but you can still eat them. In Canada, I didn't know that. In Canada, you can legally slaughter these dogs and eat them. It's so weird that, how they can make something illegal to eat, legal or illegal to eat, while they're killing millions of chickens and cows every year. But when it comes to dogs, it's like, it's so taboo. And again, these things are worthless. They're killing us too. That's the problem. Like, if they weren't killing us or anything like that, then I would be like, why are we doing this? But these things are killing us, bothering us. Chile, they're allowed to eat. France, they're allowed to eat, but they can't slaughter for sale. India, Hong Kong has outlawed it since 1950, but you may need like a permit to, I guess, I don't know, to eat, I guess. Russia, they can still eat dog meat. In the U.S., some places in the U.S., I believe, they're allowed to slaughter and sell legal dog meat. So yeah, still quite a few places that either allow for slaughter or eat of dog meat. In Africa, they eat dogs for religious rituals. I think I remember that video. I may show it actually. Actually, no. It's National Geographic, so I know they're gonna copyright me. But there's a video on YouTube I've seen like years ago of an African tribe, slaughtering and eating dogs. These are dogs that they have raised for years. They say that they're their best friend, and it's because of some ritual or religion or whatever they practice. Comes a time where they have to, I think it was the young man has to kill the dog and eat it. Again, Ghana, Nigeria, Cambodia, Indonesia, Japan. A vast majority do not eat dog meat. It's been reported that more than 100 outlets in the country has been selling it imported mainly to foreign customers. Published in 1760, the meat of wild dog was sold along with boar, deer, wolf, bear, raccoon dog, otter, weasels, and cat. And there was no outcry for these animals getting slaughtered and eaten. Not a single tear was dropped for deer, for bears. None whatsoever. But as soon as someone wants to eat dogs, it's a problem. I think this is the Yulin. Yep, this is the Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Supposedly it's supposed to begin the 21st of June. But I haven't heard anything about it in this year. Most recent was 2022. No, I remember there was it came last year. There was one last year. I know for a fact because I've seen updated videos that they did have a festival in 2022. I know that for a fact. Again, they're saying the status is active. Yeah, people are stealing these dogs to eat. Oh well. They're worthless anyways. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and when they get these celebrities involved, man, these dog nuts, have a lot of momentum as soon as they get a celebrity involved. That can change a lot of things. You can get like these spies that go to these countries acting like they're gonna, buy them for eating, and then they, buy them and set them free. They take them to the States or wherever. So yeah. So again, all these celebrities, look at these, all these celebrities, they just want to save dogs. They're not. Do you think that these celebs band together to save any deer, any raccoons, any bats? They didn't care for those. All of a sudden, it's dogs. So it's funny how like these dog nuts, they're allowed a preference. They're allowed a preference, and they're allowed to interfere with others are doing. But when dogs are killing us, we just have to basically stand there and keep getting killed by them. And these celebrities are nowhere to be found when people are getting killed every day, attacked every day by dogs. Nowhere to be found regarding that. But as soon as someone, a country that has nothing to do with them, wants to eat dog meat, they want to step in. But even in their own country, in their own state, in their own city where people are getting attacked by dogs, they are nowhere to be found. Yeah, some of these celebs are cowards. I said it. Again, this was from 2016. Yulin Dog Meat Festival draws crowds despite controversy. So yeah, even when there's controversy over the years, it's been drawing a lot of attention, a lot of people, a lot of business. More than 10,000 dogs are killed in the event, and I think that's one too few. That's one few too little. Should be a lot more. Again, they describe the events as brutal. The dogs beaten and boiled alive in belief that the more terrified they are, the tastier the meat. It's very crowded. The local government has dispatched extra plaincloths police to monitor outside groups to prevent scuffles between butchers and animal lovers. Again, it's about dogs. It's really about dogs. Adding that dog meat trader brandished a knife at a journalist on the eve of the festival. There are plaincloth police everywhere, he said. They watch outsiders from outside the city and the country. The summer solstice event proceeded despite 11 million signature petitions sent by HSI to President Xing. Is it Xing or Z? Demanding an end to the festival, and video appeals from celebrities such as these dog nutters. So for decades, these celebrities, especially these celebrities, and the activists and all the other groups, they've been banding together to stop this festival, and it's just weird and ironic that even in their own country, where children are getting attacked every day by these dogs, these celebrities have not said one word. They have not said one word about a victim. They have not said a single word. You cannot find anywhere on the internet, nowhere on the great internet, where a celebrity stepped up and said something against dogs. You are not going to find it. So all this, protesting for this dog meat festival, it's just about dogs, to stop people from eating dogs. That's all they care about. And I really think that the celebs should fix things in their own country first. Fix the dog nuttery in your own country. Why are you putting your nose into places that has nothing to do with you? You have people in your own country that are getting killed by these dogs. Stop that first. Do something first. Say something about that first, but you don't. Because you're dog nutters. You're dog nutters. So you gotta jeopardize someone else's business just because they're eating dog. But what about you in your country eating cows, horse, pigs, and chicken, all of that? You say nothing. Okay, there may be a couple that will say something, but it's very quiet. And when it comes to dogs, you get all these celebs stepping up to stop this. I just find it just strange and just ironic. I think this is in Vietnam. 2 puppy fattening farms for the dog meat trade shut down and surrender animals to rescue. How about that? So in Vietnam, they removed 58 puppies. So they were pretty much fattening these dogs up for consumption. But isn't that what they do for cows and chickens and pigs and goats and sheep and horses and you name it? They may not be as cruel, but in the end, it's like this. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, these farmers, they will pretend to care for these animals, pretend to care for the cow, but knowing that they're going to be slaughtered eventually. But why is this something that needs to be stopped? But the meat industry in the U.S. is like, oh, it's okay, or Canada, it's okay. And I'm been a vegetarian for what, 18 years now, and I've never judged anyone for eating meat. If you want to eat meat, I guess go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna be like PETA or create protests or sing kumbaya or be a tree hugger. I'm not like that. I'm sure I have my disagreements. I feel that all there's a thin line, but I feel like all animals should be free in a way. If you want to eat meat, I feel like you should be able to hunt them, like with using like guns or anything. If you want to eat meat, you got to go out there and hunt them yourself with some type of manual tool. And I feel that's more honorable than getting a gun and just shooting them or pretending to like them and slaughtering them. But against that, I have no real beef, literally no beef with meat eaters. I think people should be able to eat what they want to an extent. But I get it if we don't, slaughter these chickens or cows or other animals. Then there's that overpopulation that can happen. It's just that fine line where it's like, yeah, I get it. If we don't eat certain or kill certain animals, they're going to overpopulate. I do get it. But again, there has to be better ways. It has to be a much more honorable way of killing these animals. I'm all for honor, man. I'm all for honor. It's just like if you have like a pet like a snake, and you just drop a mouse in its cage. That's not honor. I find that's abusive. But if you have a snake or whatever, and you let it loose in your yard, and it finds a rat and it wants to eat it, I feel that that's more honorable than just dropping a mouse in a cage with a snake. That's totally not fair. But anyways, that's just my little take. But anyways, this happened on Wednesday, the 5th of June, and its animal rescue partners rescued 58 worthless mutts from a fattening farms in Vietnam. The farms were shut down after the rescue. According to HSI, the farm supplied dog meat trade in the region by purchasing puppies from local villages and feeding them until they reached a slaughter weight. After the dogs reached this goal, they were sold into dog meat trade. Isn't this what they do with cows and pigs anyways? How about veal? Like baby cows. Let's see. Veal. Again, veal is meat of calves. These are baby cows. And how about lamb? Lamb. Isn't lamb like a yeah, again, it's a young sheep. There's some, religions or cults that will slaughter and kill these baby animals for their their delusion. But no one says anything about that. But as soon as we're eating dogs, or not we, but people are eating dogs, that's a problem. Models of Change helps people dependent on dog meat trade transition to new sustainable businesses. One of the puppy fattening farms from the June 5 rescue will become an agricultural store, while the other will switch to crop farming. So they're just saving these worthless mutts so they can maul someone. These dogs, they don't deserve saving because they're worthless. They're dangerous. They're incompetent. We save them. We give them the world, the shelter, the food, the love. But then they turn around attacking us for no reason. And it's very rare that where people are going to say they want to go out and abuse dogs. No one just chooses randomly, hey, I'm going to go and abuse a dog. No one does that. We don't do that for birds, for nothing. Other than like hunters who will kill innocent deer and bear and etc. But the average person doesn't want to go out and abuse any animal, especially dogs. We want to go out and mind our business. But with dog lovers, they just don't get it. It's dogs, they don't get it. We do all this stuff for you, all this stuff for dogs, but they still turn around and attack us. It's like this never-ending cycle. And this only happens with dogs. With dogs. Where you can give them the world, and they still will attack you. You can save them from about to be slaughtered. And I guarantee some of them still go on to attack people. But anyways, owners of dogs who attacked multiple cyclists speak out.
We told you last Friday about multiple cyclists who say that they were attacked by two dogs while they were riding in the area of East 56th Street North and North Yale. Now, since our story aired, two more have come forward saying that they were injured as well. Tonight, our Sharon Phillips is speaking with one of the owners of the dogs to find out what they're doing to keep people safe this weekend. A warning, some of the dog bite photos are graphic.
This is Diesel and Man, two dogs who local cyclists say attacked them while they rode down the street over the past year near East 56th Street North in Yale. The dog bites were so severe for some, they spent time in the ER and now have PTSD and a mountain of medical bills. Not to mention the emotional and mental toll. These photos show some of their injuries. Suzanne is one of the dog's owners and asked us not to use her last name for this story. She tells me the Father's Day derecho took out their fence, and they have had a difficult time repairing it.
I only get $400 a month in disability. We can only do so much with what we got. I can't make a build a man.
Sorry. So apparently this is the owner. And she's saying that she only gets a certain amount of money. So why don't you get rid of the dogs so you can, save up money or sell them or whatever. So you can save up money to, fix your house. And that way you can get a house that is fixed up. At the same time, the community can remain safe.
Mansion out of pennies. I mean, it's just impossible.
Suzanne says she is sorry about the dog attacks.
I'm sorry that it did happen. It wasn't intentionally or nothing like that.
Most and all these dog attacks are never intentional. But that's the thing. It's these dogs. You don't think for the dog. We don't know when the dog's going to attack, and it just happens. It's because of these dogs. A lot of these owners, they do mean well. They don't want to hurt anyone. But they will keep these dogs and say it's loving dog. They love the dog. It's my fur baby. But in the end, these owners and their children and people in the community are always harmed by these same dogs that get shown a lot of love.
We have took our duty to repair the situation.
We asked her about the common denominator.
Why do you think your dogs are bothered by the bicycle so much?
because we had people that lived near us that would throw fireworks and tasers and stuff at them when they was little.
She believes
I'm calling BS. Dogs, all dogs, suburbs, in the urban, all over, west, east, north, south, they all do this. They all do this, whether they're trained or not. People walking on public, biking on public, these dogs will leave their own property to chase down these cyclists, to chase down people walking or minding their own business. It doesn't matter if you've thrown things at them or not. They would still do this whether that happened or not. But I'm still calling this BS because, again, the true answer would be this is what dogs do. They're dangerous and we shouldn't be having them. But when you have them in your possession, people are going to get hurt.
her dogs are triggered by people riding bikes and will keep them inside this weekend. In an effort to fix the problem, the family says they put up these tarps here on their fence to try and block the dog's view so they wouldn't see the cyclists riding by.
These things could still climb that. Under or over it. They can probably tear off the mats eventually. Again, this person is saying that, she's not getting enough money. Maybe you should give away these dogs so you can at least make money off the dogs or save money. But they choose to keep these worthless mutts. And by them choosing to keep these worthless mutts, they're going broke. And while they're going broke, they're attacking other people and making them broke, because those that are now getting attacked, now they have to somehow pay the medical expenses. I'm not sure how that goes, but apparently some of them who are getting attacked, they themselves have to pay the medical expenses out of their own pockets.
Despite numerous citations, the cost of repairs, and the physical and mental toll the dogs have taken on the community.
And he also knows that this dog is on top of the car. I'm not exactly sure how far this is, but I'm pretty sure, given the right momentum, this dog could probably jump over that fence. So again, those tarps being there does nothing. It's meaningless. Meaningless dribble.
She won't let them go.
They're my children.
That's the dog nuttery. I tend to wait to hear. And that explains everything. That explains everything. Again, this dog culture is so delusional that they're going to call these worthless mutts their children. Despite them attacking, attempting to kill people, and to be in the state that they're in. They're going to reside and tell the whole world that these dogs are their children. And again, one of the reasons why these dog nuts can get away with it, or they can say that on national television, is because they can get away with it. They've been getting away with it for many years. But that stuff, this nonsense dog nuttery, cannot get by me. And I wish we can all call them out on their dog nuttery.
I'm not allowed to have kids. I never have. Those are my kids.
Still, the dogs are not your kids. The dogs are still not your kids. Stop being dumb.
The County Sheriff's Office has cited the family multiple times, confiscated one of the animals for 10 days, and ordered the family to fix their fence and get the dog's shots up to date.
Within the law, Oklahoma law, dogs are considered property, and that means that the Sheriff's Office can't just go and confiscate or take a dog because they are considered property. It is a civil matter, so all we're able to do is write the citations and then follow that process.
So far, the family says they've received about...
So basically, they got to do all this nonsense, and so they pretty much let these dog nuts do whatever they want. These dogs can do whatever they want, and they got to jump over all these obstacles just to get these worthless mutts, even after knowing that they're a threat. So again, this dog nuttery is It's atrocious. It is atrocious. Again, we have these dog nuts, the dog nut politicians, skating uphill. So now they're talking about state must join dog owners in controlling dangerous breeds. It's alarming how even some of these smart, rich, knowledgeable people in office can be so dumb when it comes to dogs. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there's some of them that know that dogs are a problem, but their dog nuttery pride gets the best of them. Once again, it's like they think, getting the government involved is the solution to these dogs. When I say government involved, as in making more laws and rules and regulation, they think that's the solution. And they've banned these XL bullies back in February. But yet, they're still attacking and killing while the ban is going on. Even though there's some restrictions and things like that, but people are still getting killed by these dogs. In some places, they've raised the fines and rules and laws, and people are still getting killed by these dogs. So again, I call this skating uphill because they're getting nowhere. This doesn't work. And I think what this has to do with the fact that in dog culture, society, and dogs in general, is that dogs have been able to get away with so much. Dog owners have been able to get away with so much. There's not much pressure. It's not like compared to sports. Imagine sports, like with this whole LeBron James thing, for example. Anything LeBron James does, the people are going to talk about it. Anything he does, whether it's good or bad, if he talks or doesn't talk, dunks or shoots, doesn't shoot, misses, everyone is going to hear about it. Everyone's going to hear YouTube. Like thousands of people are going to be talking about the same thing on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook, all these social media platforms. They're still going to be talking about this guy. With whatever he does, whether it's good or bad, whether he succeeds or not, they're going to be talking about him. But with dog culture, and these dogs, pit bulls, XLs, bully breeds, they attack and there's problems there, but other than a few, like it doesn't have a big reaction compared to sports. It doesn't have a big reaction compared to maybe the next big movie that's about to come out. And I think it really has to do with that dog culture has been able to get away with so much. No one calls out the stupidity of dog culture. And I don't want to, and there's a lot of, this is that W word. I'm not going to say exactly what it is. There's some people that will stand up against it and they will make noise about that. But somehow it's only with dogs and this dog culture where people can be killed. Babies are getting killed, attacked every day. But it doesn't make as much, doesn't make it as much noise compared to, again, to sports, to LeBron James. Just one player. Again, this dog nuttery has been going on way before LeBron James even played in the NBA. People have been getting killed by these dogs before he was even born. But yet, LeBron is talked about 24/7, even to the fact that right now he's not even playing in the playoffs right now. People still talk about him. They still talk about him. They still talk about the Kobes. They still talk about the Jordans. But dogs killing people every day, which is always fresh. Not a lot of people, the mainstream, really talk about it. You'll get a few comments there and there, here and there, but that's it. Some channels will talk about it, post videos and all this stuff, but that's it. With all the other things, it blows up pretty fast and pretty well. Again, like I said, under the control of dog regulations, there are rules in place already to restrict ownership and impose controls on several dog breeds, and this does nothing. It really does nothing if people are still getting killed by dogs. It does nothing. And I know these politicians are really not that stupid. I mean, they know when things work and don't work. They know when to ignore things and not ignore things. But they know that there's a serious dog problem going on. But they just want to create these rules as some type of distraction to act as if, they really care. But in reality, they don't. They don't care for the people. They really care for the dogs. They don't care who's getting hurt, because if they really cared about who's getting hurt, they would ban, not just only ban, they would get rid and eliminate these dogs. They'd make it mandatory that all dogs to be slain and shot and killed. But no, even though there's a ban, they still allow these dogs to roam and kill people. But then they'll go around and make articles like this about there's a problem with dangerous dog breeds. No, excuse my language, but no shit. This has been going on for decades. Decades. Since at least 1833? I mean, we can change all the rules we want, but the dogs remain the same. And like I said, having these rules, it does nothing to the dog. The dog is unaffected by these rules or laws. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop them from being dogs. It doesn't stop them from their daily functioning. Again, I pretty much addressed this. Severe dog attacks becoming more common. Dog attacks such as the one seen in Cork City are becoming more common. And the reason for that is because dogs, it's the dog. I mentioned, not for the mail carriers yesterday to stop putting trust in these dog owners, that they're going to keep their dogs secure. We can't trust them. We can't trust them. How many times that a lot of these pit nutters have received fines and whatnot, but they remain the exact same. We can't trust these dog owners. We can't trust these dogs. But it seems like, again, it's like we're trying to trust them. But every time we do, someone else is killed and or attacked. Let's talk about this story. I know I have it somewhere. thought I had it, didn't I? I thought I had it here. But anyways, there was another Pitbull a Pitbull event where an armed guardia had to shoot and kill a Pitbull because it was attacking people being aggressive in the area. See, having these laws and rules doesn't change the nature of these dogs. Putting people in danger. Even if I hate these dogs, but you're even putting these dogs in danger too, because this one just got shot and killed. So it's like why are we still talking about the fact that there are a lot of dog attacks? Like, we know that already, but you still want dogs to exist. So it's better. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you might as well just not say anything. It's like you're addressing like the obvious here. It's like you're Captain Obvious. Like, we know that there's a lot of dog attacks, but you're not doing anything about it. I mean, people like this will state that. They have a platform where they can, tell people things. But it's just the same redundant dribble that we've all heard already. Did you read it? It is now time for Did You What is my thing? Did you read it? Just a few posts again, a lot of stuff on Reddit. There's a lot of things on Reddit, man, and it is so much. Yeah, this is the story that I wanted to share with you from that other article. A lot of things on Reddit. Again, just kind of spoke about this already. Pitbull shot and killed by an armed guardia after dog attack in Cork. Just never ending. And they shouldn't call these things Pitbull Terrier. They should call these things Pitbull Terrorizers. Because that's what they do. They terrorize people, neighborhoods, and communities. What does this word even mean, though? My bad. It just means a small dog breed originally used for turning out foxes or other burrowing animals. So basically, they terrorize natural animals for nothing, for no reason, pretty much. That word probably does originate from terrorize, which would make sense. A register of land belonging to landowner originally included a list of tenants. Yeah, well, these things might as well be called terrorizers. Next Reddit post: local man whining that his dog is hate crime victim. And the post says, I hope you can see on screen. And the post says, please let this message get to as many as possible. I was a victim of a hate crime, and I don't deserve to be punished like they're punishing me by keeping me from my family. I am one of 4 children. Oh, they talk about the dog. It's this. Anyway, they're talking for the dog. Okay, my kitty sisters miss me. I know they do. I miss my parents, especially my. This is so embarrassing to even read. And my other worthless mutt misses me too. I know she does. I don't belong in a cage. I belong with my family where I can play with my bones chicken bones, cow bones. It's not fair. And my favorite snowman, and sleep with my every night. Please let me go home. So imagine that. Imagine that. How these people, dog nutters, can type this up and act as if the dog is saying that. And there are actually some dog nutters that are actually going to think the dog is actually thinking this. So I have a question now. How come they're unable to know what the dog is thinking once that dog attacks them out of nowhere? All of a sudden, when the dog attacks them out of nowhere or attacks something else, they don't know what the dog is thinking or what the dog wants to say. But now on these Facebook, Reddit posts or YouTube, they'll make these captions, these titles, as if they know what the dog is thinking. But how come when the dog attacks you out of nowhere, you don't know what the dog is thinking? You can't stop the dog from attacking you. So this dog culture is so delusional. It is so stupid. It is very, 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 such a stupid cult. It is. In this Reddit post, people buying dogs they can't control or take care of is becoming a laughable at my clinic. Someone has an Alaskan Malamute at my clinic in South Florida. But it's aggressive. It tried biting 3 people during medical services. The dog has high anxiety at home, and they wonder why. A woman that is handicapped in her 50s, missing a leg and has a prosthetic leg in its place, thought it was a good idea to adopt a husky mix. Well, can you imagine that? Imagine the show every time she comes in and the dog is hyper strong and dragging her everywhere while she struggles to keep up with the worthless mutt. An old man adopts a worthless pit bull, and the dog is aggressive, and he brings it to the clinic. As you can imagine, it is a SHIT show every time. Another woman owns 3 huge Rottweiler mixes. God forbid that she had the bright idea to train them when they were young. These things are so misbehaved and aggressive. Then there's college female who has a pit bull. It was the first dog of choice, then complains about how much she has to spend on anti-anxiety meds. The thing gets walked once a day while you're going to school, and you're going out and partying every night. Every single client ever that didn't give their dog heartworm prevention and is now complaining about the $2,000 heartworm treatment. Every single day, an owner with a large dog breed, for example, a retriever, is being walked and dragged by their dog, and they have no control over their worthless mutt. So that is from someone that, I'm guessing it's a vet or a nurse that works in a vet, and she is entertained. She's getting entertained by these dog nutters. Old, small, young, big, whatever, old, naive, stupid. She is getting entertained. And I could imagine that she has a lot of, she can write, probably 77 books of, dog nuttery stories. Again, as we're in dog bite awareness for milk carriers, at least in Arizona, dog attacks on Arizonites are down apparently. But let's hear what they have to say.
Rise nationwide according to new numbers from the U.S. Postal Service. In 2023, 5,800 workers were attacked by dogs. But here in Phoenix, the numbers are actually down. Just 54 workers were involved in dog attacks last year compared to 78 in 2022. USPS says workers are trained to protect themselves, but there are also ways that you can help them out as well.
Keep the dog in a separate area from the mailbox. If your dog's in the house and the mailman comes to the door, put them in a separate room so that way they can't get out. Just help us be safe. Fences that are not secure, that are loose, able to be dug under, knocked down. Dogs learn things. If the dog gets out, we hold your mail. If the dog gets out in the neighborhood and keeps following us, we hold your neighbor's mail. Okay, so you don't want your dog out. You want your dog to be safe.
Some helpful tips there. USPS says that many of the dogs involved in these attacks are typically described by their owners as dogs that never bite.
And what a surprise. And we need to stop trusting these dog owners. Stop trusting them. You trust a dog owner, you're going to get bit. You are going to get bit. But we continue to put our trust, our lives towards these dog owners. And it's never good. It's never, ever good. Again, more excuses for these dogs. Dogs could become more hostile to humans as the planet heats up. So to me, this is just another excuse to justify dog attacks. These people don't want to blame the dog for anything. They see dogs as perfect and harmless, and when dogs are harmful, they are quick to find reasons other than the dog to why the dog behaved a certain way. This is only exclusive to dogs. Any other animal, natural animal or pet that attacks their owner, they're gonna look at it as it's the cat's or the animal's fault. They're not gonna blame the owner or gonna blame the weather. But it's only with dogs that they have to find so many excuses to justify the dog's behavior. That means if there's so many excuses to justify the dog's behavior, that means they're living in denial. They know that the dog is the problem. Again, they say climate change could make dogs bite more common. New research has warned. These dogs, they can't function. They can't function in cold. They can't function in heat. They can't function outside. They can't function indoors. Everything is a problem. Noise is a problem. Weather is a problem. People, children, sneezing, coughing, not eating. Everything that is either good or bad for dogs is going to be a problem for dogs. Now they're looking at, they're blaming climate change for the way dogs are. But what about training? I thought it was how you train these dogs. I thought dogs were good. All dogs are good, but now it's the climate changes. And now dogs get to go and attack people? And we can say, it's because it's hot outside? It's just nonsense. Dogs are 11% more likely to attack people on days with higher UV levels. Why though? So it's hotter outside, higher UV levels, so they attack us? When animals are too hot, real animals are too hot to attack, they're not even going to bother. They're just going to sit in the shade and just relax. But when dogs are hot, they're going to go and attack us? They attack in all weathers, though. They attack when they're fed and loved. And look what they say. Now it appears warming weather could turn man's best friend against us. I'm telling you, they're using this as an excuse to to cover for themselves before more attacks happen, when they know more attacks are going to happen. They know more is on the way. But they just use these idiotic excuses to justify dogs. Dogs are just so problematic. They're so problematic. Trying to look for the comments, but I can't. I can't see them. Yeah, I can't find the comments. One more time. See if this works. Here we are. So in the comments, this was from last year. Ooh. Last year. Pigs might start flying. China. No harm. More harm than good. Gotta keep these things cool, but then they'll still attack you. So could, but won't. Just remember, mad dogs, Englishmen, go out in the midday sun and you'll be fine. Keep them inside then. You still get attacked inside, still get attacked outside. I think the fantasy gene in scientists seems to have heated up, exceptionally as climate was supposed to have done even the brute next door. When dopey, lethargic, when it was hot. Okay. The person says, no, stop it now. It's getting silly. It is getting silly. It is getting silly. Look at this. Let's not say anything negative about dogs. It won't be popular. And that's another thing with dog culture. A lot of dog nutters are followers. They're followers. In Jamaican term, they're falabatis. They're only dog nutters because everyone else is a dog nutter. They're only bully tards because everyone else is a bully tard. That's where you get, recognition. You get noticed. You get attention by being a part of these dog nuttery cults. With hating dogs, it's not popular. Like, it's probably one of the least popular, of way of being or thinking ever. Like, you can't think of anything that is least popular than hating dogs. But again, yeah, these dog nuts, they just jump on the bandwagon. I'm sorry, my thing just froze up right now. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so sorry. Bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm sorry. I am so sorry about this. Sorry about that. Computer Chrome just shut down. Sometimes it can be like that. But anyway, I only have a couple things left to show. Again, in this article, they're talking about Stainless Animal Shelter Director. Says city laws contribute to overcrowding space issues. Again, this dog culture, it's really about, keeping dogs alive no matter what. Many shelters are being overcrowded with dogs that no one wants. No one is looking at these dogs. No one is adopting these dogs. They're just being overcrowded with pit bulls, bully breeds, you name it. And these people are at a loss of what to do. What are we gonna do with these dogs? But they would rather keep these worthless mutts for years and years and years and years, and hoping that some dog nutter is gonna go and save these dogs from their worthlessness. But that never happens, or rarely happens. And now the issue is that these shelters are being overcrowded, over capacity. So it's just utter nonsense here. And some of these, especially in the U.S., this is the U.S., right? U.S. Is it the U.S.? I'm sorry. Nevertheless, if this is the U.S. or not. But a lot of countries or whatever, they're getting dogs from other countries. Saving dogs from like Yulin, like the Yulin Meat Festival, and bringing them into various countries. And these shelters are overcrowded. No one wants these dogs. You're gonna have people that want to rescue these dogs from these countries, but they themselves don't even want to adopt these dogs. So now they're here in the country, stuck into these shelters, overcrowding, where every day you're having dogs being returned or dropped off. And the clear solution is just kill them off. But if you do kill them off now, you're going to have a lot of depressed vets and nurses that may actually end up, taking their lives because of this. And this is why this dog culture it's not natural. It's not essential. We don't need it. It's not essential. It's unhealthy on so many levels. How unhealthy it is. I mean, if this dog culture was so good and so perfect and this and that, why are there so many dog owners that are so stressed out about their dogs? Why are there shelters that are being overcrowded with dogs? If these dogs are supposed to be so perfect and stress-free. Well, someone out there, a lot of people out there are returning these things because they are stressful. I bet some of them even called them their children. And guess what? They returned them. So these dogs, again, they're not essential. They're worthless. And they're just creating more problems. Like everything about dogs is creating problems. And they rescued 130 dogs. No one wants them. Now they're stuck in these shelters where no one wants them. No one wants them. Look how worthless this thing is. These things cannot take care of themselves. They can't groom themselves. They can't. They're worthless. They're incompetent. Again, and they've just been seeing an increase of dogs. Every year they've been seeing an increase of dogs in shelters being rescued. So no one wants them. They're being rescued because no one wants them. And even the average dog owner that wants a dog, they're not going to go and get some ready-used dog already. They're going to get a puppy. One of those small dogs. A dog that's fresh off the boat. So they can use up that dog, and when it's old and boring, they're going to drop it off again at another shelter. See, this dog culture does more harm than any good. Any good. Again, retouch based on, delivery personnel getting attacked by dogs. And Dog Bite Awareness Week ends tomorrow. Now, Dog Bite Awareness Week should never end. It should always be a thing year-round until there's no dogs left. because these dog attacks are not going to just take a break or going to stop. They're going to keep happening throughout the U.S., throughout Canada, throughout the U.K. This person said the dog's owner left the front door open to bring in groceries at the same time I was delivering their mail. That's all it took. Before I knew it, their dog had its teeth clamped on my leg. See, you can't be trusting these dog owners. And there's so many circumstances out there. Not all dog owners, before they get their mail, they're going to be in their house. They're not all going to be in their house. Some dogs and their owners are going to be out in the yard. Dog's going to be loose. Dog's going to be tethered. The owner may not be there. The dog may be on the porch. The dog may, jump over the fence. So many circumstances. The owner isn't always going to be at the door. They're not always going to be where you expect them to be. It doesn't even have to be the dog of the house you're delivering mail to. You could be going to one house, but the house, let's say across the street, that dog hops over a fence and runs at you to attack you. What about that? So it doesn't even have to be about the house that you're delivering mail to and their dog. That should not only be your own concern. It's all houses. Chances are you don't even know who has a dog. You're delivering mail for one house. But again, a dog blocks away, wanders, and finds you and mauls you. See, this dog culture, even this Dog Bite Awareness Week, it's really worthless. It's worthless. It's so worthless. Because they're not seeing the bigger picture here. They're not seeing, the open-ended circumstances. It's not just about the dog of the person you're delivering mail to. It's about the dogs in the neighborhood who wander, who get loose all the time. It could be a place where you never deliver mail to, but their dog gets loose and ends up attacking you. 3 blocks away down the road. So this Dog Bite Awareness Week, it's pure garbage. Pure garbage. And all it is to remind these mail carriers to put their trust in dog owners. Final story for this video.
In North Houston, a city worker attacked by a dog is still off the job.
Tonight, we are learning a little bit more about that dog and what is now a criminal investigation. KPRC2's Joel Eisenbaum talked to the victim who was seriously injured in the attack.
The problem with the dog involved in the attack is nobody quite seems to know where it is right now. And Bark doesn't have the authority to just go onto somebody's property and seize their animal. And so now HPD's involved. When he was attacked a few months ago, he thought it was curtains.
I'm just trying to fight for my life, defend the best way I know how.
58-year-old Fred Drain is a city worker, drives or at least drove a garbage truck. That was before a nasty tangle with a pit bull.
Just
while on
realized
the
the blank
and
screen.
His lawyer says that dog has a history.
This is the 7th time that this specific dog has been reported to have attacked someone.
While Fred rehabs from the April incident, nobody seems quite sure where the dog is.
You heard.
A pit bull named Nayla. Its owner Friday canceled a scheduled interview with KPRC2 Investigates. And heck, if we're knocking on that door.
I mean, pain and suffering, and I mean, I just ain't gonna be normal no more.
The city's animal control, Bark, tells me that the owner of the dog in question has been cited a couple times, but those are just misdemeanors. Now, HPD's Major Offenders Division is going to investigate, and that could yield felony charges. North of downtown, Joel Eisenbaum, KPRC 2 News.
The 2024 hurricane season.
Yeah, that's all it takes is one One dog attack, and your whole life is screwed up. Your whole life is messed up. You don't have to do much. You don't even have to be a delivery personnel. You could be minding your own business, and a dog messes you up. Messes you up mentally and physically. Can't work, can't make money. These dogs are problematic. They cause way too much harm. Way too much harm. This guy says target practice. Don't these guys carry pepper spray? We used to have baseball bats on the back of the garage, on the garbage truck, to take care of dogs like that. Are you serious? Knowing that someone carries a bat, not to play baseball or softball or t-ball, they're carrying bats for dogs. When bats are meant for baseball. They're meant for the sport of baseball, hitting a ball. That's what they're meant for. That's what they were made for. But people are using them for dogs. How can that be? How can man's best friend be treated like some kind of baseball? Where they're going to take that bat and smack that dog. Man's best friend, mind you. We're not doing this to cats. Not turtles, not frogs, not even snakes, not even jaguars. We're doing this to dogs. Dogs. Any unprovoked dog that attacks a human should be put down. If the owner can clearly be identified, they should be held accountable for all medical costs, including pain and suffering. Again, this person says the owner of these dogs should be held accountable and they should have to surrender the dogs. That's another thing with these dog attacks and investigations. Sometimes these owners have a lot of time to hide the dog, get rid of the dog. Give their dog to a family member. And they have a lot of time for them to flee the city for a while. So this dog culture is such a sick culture. It is a very, very sick culture. So yeah, we briefly spoke about the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, and I'm not really sure if it's going on this year, but it does say that it's still active. The Dog Meat Festival, it has been still attracting a large, crowds still, despite the controversy. It still has been like a draw for many people, many cities. We spoke about how unfair it is that, the cows, pigs, and chicken and alike get to be slaughtered. But these dogs, they get to go free. Even though these dogs, they spend their whole lives attacking us, tormenting us, terrorizing us, while the pigs and cows, etc., they do nothing to us. They respect us in a way. Even though we're going to be slaughtering them, killing them, they still have that some bit of respect for us. But we will kill them and slaughter them. But with dogs who attack and torment us every day, they get protected and saved. They get saved. They get rescued. So someone can rescue them. So then they can attack someone else. So now then someone else has to rescue that person from the dogs that we just rescued. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I've called this one "You'll Be Barking for More." Again, it's just a saying I use for Yulin Dog Meat Festival. So again, it was great to have another show. It was just very great to be here, to have this opportunity to share and to give a totally different perspective of this dog culture. Because particularly with this Yulin Dog Meat Festival, they have celebrities. They have celebrities that can create momentum to rescue these dogs, to stop dog meat consumption, and it's really, it's really, we're at a disadvantage. I'm at a disadvantage, and it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I just wish and hope that people can speak up against this dog culture. They've gone away with so much, and they continue to get away with so much. They're at a point where they will go on live television. They'll go on national TV, YouTube, Twitter, and call their dogs their children. They will call their dog, the sibling of their own child. And there's no shame in that. No one says anything. Again, there might be a couple, but majority-wise, like, no one really says much. Everyone praises and acknowledges and encourages people to treat dogs like their children, when in reality, it's a sign of being deluded. It's a sign of being sick. It is a sign of degrading yourself. To put a dog, to say a dog is your child or your son's sibling, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Imagine being that child, and your mom calls the dog your sibling. I would feel a little sick here. I would feel very sick. Very, very sick. To know that my own flesh and blood, my own mom and dad, called a worthless mutt my sibling. It'd be weird, though. It is weird. It really is weird. But anyways, thank you for joining me. This is another Worthless Mutts. I'm Gore the Dog Butcher. And please remember, it is okay to hate dogs.